Hello students, I am back with the third part of this chapter, Federalism. It is for class 10th and from democratic politics. Okay, till now we studied a lot in this chapter. Firstly, we studied the meaning of federalism, then we got to know the features of federalism. We discussed about coming together and holding together states. Then we talked about why India is called a federal country. We discussed about union list, state list, and concurrent list. Now we have come on this point. How is federalism practiced in India? How it is there? How the power sharing is there? How the ruling is there? Okay, so we will discuss 3 points here. First, linguistic state. We will discuss first linguistic state, then we will discuss language policy of our country, then we will discuss very important part of it, center state relations. Center state relations, it means like how is the relation between our central government and our state governments. As I told you, state all the states are having their own powers. They are independent. It means they are not they are not bound to follow central government order. Okay, so how is this we can say relation between central government and state government? It happens many time in the in center government some other party government is there, in state is some party other government is there. So we will discuss about that, the how this is taking we can say a place in a democracy like India. So we will talk about it. So now we are going to first we will talk about linguistic state. Linguistic state, as we all know that India is divided in many states, and it is very interesting to know that many of the states are made on only basis of language. As we can take it from south, like Kerala, Malayalam for Malayalam speaking people for Kerala, Kannada speaking people Karnataka, Tamil speaking people Tamil Nadu, Andhra. Okay, Marathi speaking people, they are having Maharashtra, then Gujarati, Gujarat, Rajasthani, Rajasthan. Okay, so like this the Punjab for Punjabi, Haryana for Haryanvi. Okay, so like this the many states are there in our country which are based on language, linguistic, which we call linguistic state. It means which language are made on the basis of language. As we can see here, first point, the creation of linguistic state was the first and major test for democratic politics in our country. If you look at the political map of India, when it began its journey as a democracy in 1947, and that of 2017, you will be surprised by extent of the changes. Many old states have vanished and many new states have been created. Area boundaries and names of the state had been changed. For example, I just want to tell, before 1960, till 1960, Bombay, today's Maharashtra and today's Gujarat, this was only one state. Okay, and the state name was Bombay. Okay, so but in 1960, around 1960, this part has been divided into two parts. Okay, this state has been divided into two parts. First became Maharashtra for the Marathi people, and second become Gujarat for Gujarati people. Okay, the boundary change, area change, okay, name also change of the states, है ना? So it happens. Okay, so as we can see in the second, in 1947, the boundaries of several old states. As I old state means, like I told you that what is the meaning of old state? Only eight states were there when India became free. Okay, it is called Punjab and UP, United Province, Central India, Hyderabad, Bengal, and these were the states. So slowly the change took place. This was done to ensure that the people who spoke the same language lived in the same state. Okay, so why these states were made? Because the people who were speaking same language, so give them separate state. Like for Bengali, Bengal, Odia, Odisha. In past, Odisha and Bengal was only one state. For the Bihari or for Bhojpuri people, speaking people, give it to Bihar. Okay, so like this, they have given, and these are the states which were given on a language basis. But some states were there which are not based on language based, which are not language based, है ना? So on what is the basis of them? So their basis of culture, ethnicity, and geography. As for the geography, I want to tell you, Uttarakhand. Uttarakhand was the part of Uttar Pradesh till 2000, year 2000. Okay, 9th November 2000. So Uttarakhand was different from Uttar Pradesh. Why? Just because of geographical diversity. Uttarakhand is a hilly state and rest of UP is a plain state. So people of this area of Uttarakhand area were facing a lot of problems, and UP government was not looking after them properly. है ना? So that's why people asked for the different state, and their we can say claim was right. That's why the government had given them different state named Uttarakhand. Okay, so this is geography based, and the cultural and other things like Jharkhand and Jharkhand become a part from Bihar. So Bihar and Jharkhand has different culture practices, because Bihar is a very old state, and Jharkhand people mostly they are tribal people. Okay, they live in the villages, in forest, so they are having a different culture. So that's why what happened, they made it that they wanted different states, so it was given to them. Next, when the demand for the formation of states on the basis of language was raised, some national leaders feared that it would lead to the disintegration of the country. So, not only the leaders of India, other the leaders of Britain or other country, they were also thinking that this country has a lot of diversity in language, in culture, and other things also. So this country will not go long. Okay, if they are making states, so soon they will become disintegrated. But this formula worked for India when the states were given to specially speaking language speaking people. So they felt that okay, state central government is giving us respect, and so if they are giving everything to us, so we should be with them. Okay, so disintegration nahi hua. On the place of disintegration, now we are more integrated, we are more unite. Okay, so this is the linguistic state, how linguistic states was formed, है ना? So I hope I discussed to you, I told you about this linguistic state, why, what is the basis of linguistic state. So it is based of language, and some other states are on the geographical basis, cultural basis. Okay, so this is. Now we have come on this second point, that is language policy. But what is language policy? Now states are be divided, has been divided bit for the language speaking people, different language speaking people. But now in the on the nation level, on the we can say country level, we cannot use these kind of languages, many languages. So but it should be one language or kind of thing. Every country is having their national language. So it also this question raised in front of our constituent assembly. So that time around 40% of people were speaking Hindi. So Hindi is mostly speaking language in our country. So they thought, okay, we should make this language national language. But the people from different state who were not able to speak Hindi, so they started raising the question कि भाई why they are making this a national language. Okay, so now just read this. Our constitution did not give the status of national language to any language. That's why Hindi, we all know, it identified as a official language, but is Hindi is the mother tongue of only about 40% of the Indians. Therefore, there were many safeguards to protect other languages. So many type of riots were started. People started killing each other on the basis of only language. So our Constituent Assembly thought, okay, we will give both same respect to all languages. They made we can say they made Hindi and 22 other languages. Hindi and 22 other languages. It means 22 languages as scheduled language by the Constitution. Scheduled language by the Constitution. They have given same respect or same regard to the all languages. These 22 languages. I will tell that which are these languages. Okay. So a candidate in an examination conduct for the central government position may opt to take the examination in any of these languages. State to have their own official languages. State, it means we all know that in Tamil Nadu most of work is being done in Tamil language. Okay, same in Karnataka it is in Kannada. Okay, so it means all states are having their own languages also. So on the national level, what government made, they made official language, two official language, Hindi and English. Okay, so but unlike like in Sri Lanka we studied, they have given everything to Sinhala language. This not happened in India. The leader of our country adopted a very conscious attitude in spreading the use of Hindi. According to the constitution, the use of English for official purpose was to stop in 1965, but it was not stopped. Okay, so however many non-Hindi, I hope you understood this. However many non-Hindi speaking states demanded that the use of English continued, so it was not stopped in 1965. In Tamil Nadu, this movement took a violent form. The central government responded by agreement to continue the use of English. It's a very funny thing, sometimes we can say. The country person of one country, they are fighting for a foreign language. Okay, just we want to work in the foreign language. So this that's why India is called that. India is divided by its own languages and united by a foreign language. Okay, so we are divided by different languages. Some speak Punjabi, Gujarati, Rajasthani, Marathi, Kannada, Tamil, Telugu, okay, Odia, Bengali, Assamia. So we are divided by these languages, and we are all united by a one language that is called English. So that protest happened. After that, government made English along with Hindi for official purpose. Okay, many critics think that the solution favored that English speaking elites. Okay, so actually this but in we can normally see in our country a few people are there who use English properly, है ना? So according to me, these languages should be in the use. Now next, promotion of Hindi continues to be official policy of the government of India. Promotion does not mean that the central government can impose Hindi on states where people speak a different language. The government cannot impose the Hindi on other states, but it should be in use. They promote it with different purposes. We are the part of Kendriya Vidyalaya, so we understand it very better. Okay, so according to me, in whole India, the people are using Hindi now. Okay, just this place is exceptional place. Okay, now third point. I hope you understood this language policy. What is India's language policy? I want to just show you something here. Okay, in we can see in India we are having different languages. language policy of India. Here we can see linguistic diversity in India. So around we can say these are these 22 languages in which we can work. First, Assamese, Bengali is spoken by 8.11% of people. Bodo, Dogri, Gujarati. Just to see India's exceptional constitution, we can see here they have given a language as the scheduled language status, which is spoken just by 0.13 people. See the respect. Okay, the Dogri, okay, Hindi here over 41%, Kannada 3.69%, Kashmiri, Konkani, see Konkani, how, okay, Maithili is spoken in Bihar and UP also, Malayalam, Manipuri, see that. Okay, Nepali, a foreign language. It means in northern states like Uttarakhand and UP, the Nepali doesn't consider as foreigners. They come to India without visa. They work here, okay, and they go back. Oriya, Punjabi, see here Sanskrit also, the most old language, okay, which is the base of these languages. Okay, expect this. So see, it is around 0%. Nobody is speaking this. Sindhi, who knows these languages? And then after that, all this Indian Constitution has given these languages a status of scheduled language. Nice thing to see. In Tamil Nadu, in India, in India's people, around 5.91% our population speaks this language. Same Telugu is more than this. Okay, so this is the linguistic diversity of our country. So now we will discuss about this third term. This is center state relation. So we all know about it. Actually, we will discuss about here. Sorry for inconvenience. Center state relations. How are the center and state relations? For a long time, the same party ruled. Same party, it means the Congress party ruled on the both. It means center and most of the state. Okay, so this meant the state government did not exercise their right at autonomous federal units. So what happened when same party is ruling in center and state? So the states work under central government because they are from the same party. So they do not raise their voice, or they do not want to fight, or kind of, it means we can understand na, they work under their prime minister. They respect him or everything. If he asks something extra, something wrong, or like kind of thing na, so they work under that. But when in state different party is ruling, and in center different party is ruling, then problem, conflict and dispute creates. As and when the ruling party at the state level was different, the party that ruled at the center tried to undermine. What they do? They try to undermine the power of the states. They try that to reduce the powers, or they want to make them, we can say ना, थोड़ा दबदबा बनाने की कोशिश की जाती है. They want to suppress a kind of thing. The parties that ruled at the center they undermine the power of state. In those days means when only one party was ruling, the central government would often misuse the constitution to dismiss the state governments that time. So that time, because center was having a lot of power by the Congress party, and in state also the Congress party was ruling, so They were interrupting in the work of state government in those days. But what happened? Everything is not for every time. So as we can see here in the second point, all this changed significantly after 1990. The period saw the rise of regional political parties in many states. Regional political parties, small political parties, like in this book we will study it in the chapter number 6 also, the political parties. We will discuss about the some religion, some regional parties. Regional parties like in Odisha, Biju Janata Dal, this is the name of party. In Uttar Pradesh we can see Samajwadi Party, Bahujan Samaj Party. In Bihar, Rashtriya Janata Dal, what we name, Janata Dal United, Lok Jan Shakti Party. In Punjab, Akali Dal. Okay, so in Haryana, Inelo. Okay, so different parties started raising their, we can say, vote percentage in the in states, and that's why they started getting the popular support. So now they started making the government, it means the regional parties. So now center's power become less. Okay, I want to show picture to you. Sorry, center state relation. See, this is the cartoon at the time of when Indira Gandhi was ruling. Okay, so that time the cartoonist has shown the scene that this is the central government, the power of states. So she was giving the power to states, and how states were begging. Okay, states were begging that please give us some power. From Bihar, Bengal, it is Haryana, yes, it is from Kerala, like this. So they were asking for the power. It means that time center was ruling in very, we can say, very hardly they were ruling, and states were not having any power. They were having the power in constitution, but in the real life they were not having. Okay, so that's why this was the situation that time. But time changed, as we know, time changed, and after that the governments was made on the basis of regional parties. Okay, so as you can understand in this, so after that what happened? Now slowly the power of central government started becoming less, na? And now for making the state, for making the central government, they need the support of state government also, state parties also. So what happened? This created a different kind of government. This is called coalition government. This is called coalition government. Coalition government, it means when, because in our Lok Sabha, they need 272 seats for making the government. But if they get 206 only, as Congress party got in 2004, so what happened? So the rest of 66 seat they will have to take from the regional parties. So if they will look for the regional parties, so regional party also get some power. So slowly state started getting the power just because these coalition governments. And since no single party got a clear majority in the Lok Sabha, the major national party had to enter into the alliance with other parties, including several regional parties, to form a government at the center. Okay, so they have to take support from the regional parties. This trend was supported by a major judgment on of the Supreme Court that had made it difficult to for central government to dismiss state government in the then another way also, that now Supreme Court also came in this matter in before 1990 na, so central government was having the power to dismiss any state government, but now they cannot do this because Supreme Court passed that law. So thus federal power sharing is more effective today than it was in the earlier years after the constitution came into force. So now it is more powerful. Okay, states are more powerful now. Now we will. I hope you understood that. Now we will discuss about decentralization in India. Decentralization, same power sharing. Power sharing, it means the divide the power into different part of the government. Okay. So when power is taken away from center and state government and given to local government, I had told you in the last part also. Local government means municipality, and secondly the panchayats in the village. This is called local government. So when the power is taken away from central and state government and given to local government, it is called decentralization. The basic idea behind central decentralization is that there are a large number of problems and issues which are best settled in the local level. By imagine, if you are not having drainage pipe in your locality, so you will not go for the not complain for this. You will not register complaint to state government or central government. Okay, so for this we need a kind of government which work around us. So for this local government is there, the ward member or the kind of person, counselor. Okay, we have to talk to him, and then he will raise this issue in their meetings. Then they discuss it on the state level, then work is done. People have better knowledge of problems in their locality. They have better ideas on where to spend money and how to manage these things more efficiently. Besides, at the local level, it is possible for the people to directly participate in the decision making. Okay, simply it is. It means now central government is working on other level, state government is working other level. Now we needed that time. We needed a kind of government which work on the basic level, local level, in which the people can participate. So we all know the municipality or panchayati chunav, panchayati elections are there. So in which we choose people from our locality, from our nearby, from our lane, from near to our home. So we choose them. So if we have any problem, we register to him. Then he register in the meeting of all ward members. Then they go to the CM or someone else. Okay, it helps to indicate a habit of democratic participation. Local government is best way to realize one important principle of democracy, namely local self government. So simple thing is that nowadays, but if you're like how it work, it means how democracy work. It works in very nice way. It means on very in starting it was on the central level, then it come on state level, now it has come on the local level. It is same before 30, 40, 50 years, when our parents were there, if they want to purchase something, so they did not discuss in the family, they go and they purchase only. Now time came, they started talking to uh, the respective members of the family only, should we do this or not. So now if your father or if your family want to purchase a television or a LCD, so it doesn't mean that your father will come and discuss only with your mother or anyone. They have to ask to children also that what you want. So this is also indicates in the real life of the people that how democracy is working. Now our parents also have to ask to us that what you want or which thing we should use or kind of purchase. So this is the basic principle of democracy. It means local self government. Now, this we I'm talking about this municipality, this panchayat and everything. This is very important question also. This has come in examination two times. What major steps were taken in 1992 to decentralize India? Before 1992, India was having only two layers or two tier of the government. First was central government, second was state government. Now they have by the making law, they have made third type of government also, that is called local government. So this rule was passed, or this law was passed, act was passed in 1992. To what were these points? Now it is constitutionally mandatory to hold regular election to local government bodies. Now, after passing the law of 1992 of decentralizing India, for governments it is mandatory now to hold regular elections. Which regular election? It means on each 5 years it becomes necessary to hold panchayat and municipality elections. Okay, and very nice thing here, seats are reserved in the elected bodies. Reserved seats are in elected bodies, and the executive head of these institutions for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and other backward classes. It means on the very low level, on the very, it means local government level, now participation of scheduled caste people, scheduled tribe people and backward classes people will be there. Okay, fixed it is. And they have given reservation to women also. Okay, at least one third of all positions are reserved for women. Out of 100%, they have given them 33%. Okay, in many states it is above 50 also. In UP, in Uttarakhand I have seen this. So they are having around 50% of ladies, women, participating in local bodies election in panchayati and other. You also saw that na, in your area, if any you are the your village or your town is the part of any panchayat or any municipality, so you can see your ward member, mostly ward members are women. Okay, so it is just because of this law. An independent institution called the State Election Commission. Three things were done, beta. It happens. It came in 2016 also, and in 17 or 18 also. This question in board. What are the those steps were taken? So first step was taken that elections are mandatory in all 5 years. Then seat are reserved for the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe and backward classes people. 33% reservation given to women, and one independent institution. Before that, what happened? Only our election commission, it means national election commission, they hold all the elections. But in 1992 they made, under constitution they made state election commission also. So now if any election is taking place in state, okay, it means assembly election or these local government elections, so it is conducted by state election commission. Okay, the state government are required to share some powers. So now it is not only that the election are there and they become ward member or panchayat or pradhan. Okay, so and now responsibility of state to finish. No, now state government has to give some power to local bodies. Okay, local body, it means again I'm saying panchayati or municipality. State government has to give some power to them also, and not only power, money also. Okay, they have to give them some money also. Okay, by that they can take care of the people, they can fulfill the demand of the people. If people are asking for making roads in their area, in their locality, if we can say street light is not there, if they want to install that, so they can do this. Okay, so state government need to give some revenue powers and revenue. Revenue, it means money, to local government also. Okay, so what is the structure of decentralized government in India? Then now I'll discuss that panchayati raj or other things, है ना? Now this is the last paragraph of us. So rural local government is popularly known by the name of panchayati raj. As I told you many times, you studied this topic or this point in class 6. Panchayati raj, there is full chapter is there also. each village or a group of villages in some state has a gram panchayat. This is consisting of several ward members, often called panch. Okay, in one village, if the village is small, so they make 2 or 3 village group and they make it one panchayat. The ward member also being selected there, they are called ward members. And one is there which is called mukhya, it means the sarpanch. Okay, the president, or we call it sarpanch. Okay, so now then the panchayat works under the overall supervision of the Gram Sabha. All the voters in the village are its member. It has to meet at least twice or thrice in a year. So they have to call for the meeting to the people also. They sit there, they have to, the sarpanch and ward member, they have to ask to the people what problems they are facing. Okay, and they discuss about the budget and they pass that gram panchayat and review the performance of the gram panchayat. Okay, the local government structure goes right up to the district level. Okay, this local government the panchayati, we can say first the panchayat in village, on the village level, you know, then the kshetra panchayat is there, panchayat samiti. Okay, then district panchayat, district level. So it means it reaches village to blocks, blocks to uh, in the last blocks to district. So it is 3 level, 3 layer, we can say structure. Okay, so this is village level, then on the block level and on the district level. So what same thing they are saying here, they are saying, what they are saying, कि the local government structure goes right up to the district level. A few gram panchayat are grouped together, okay, grouped together to form what is usually called a panchayat samiti or a block or mandal. Then member of this represent body are they elected by the panchayati members that area, all panchayat samiti or mandal in a district together. This is called Jila Panchayat or district panchayat. Okay, here you can see constitute the Jila or district parishad. Most member of Jila Parishad are elected members of the Lok Sabha and MLAs of the district and some other officials at other district level. So it means the simple thing is that first the people of a village, they are called a panchayat, then on the kshetra panchayat, otherwise we can say block panchayat, then the district panchayat. So they the village people tell their problems to panchayat, panchayat tell to block panchayat, it is called in Hindi kshetra panchayat. They discuss it to district panchayat, okay, district level, they discuss it to MLA or MP. Similarly, the local government bodies exist for the urban areas also. We are just talking about the panchayats, but it existing for the state, sorry, for the town or big cities also. It is called municipalities are set up in town. Big cities are constituted into municipal corporations. Both municipalities and municipal corporation are controlled by the elected body consisting of the people's representatives. Municipal chairperson is the political head of the municipality. In a municipal corporation, such an officer is called the mayor. Okay, so this is the we can say panchayati system of our country. Okay, so we discuss a lot in this part become little longer. I hope we discuss all the point and I hope you understood this. So please watch this and make your comments there. Tell me did you like it or not. If any changes you want, any suggestions, advice, you can give it to me, and mention in the, I hope you reach to end also, you know, so many of student left this. So thank you for this, for listening, for studying, and in the end if you have any suggestion you can give it me into comment box. I will not say those lines. Then subscribe my channel or other thing. If you want to subscribe this, so you can subscribe. Okay, I'm not a YouTuber. Just I'm helping to my students. So if any help I can do, so it will be a pleasure to me. Thank you.